Okay. Welcome, everyone. This is a recorded session introducing the third iteration of the University Grants Academy, and we're going to be telling you a little bit about the program, where it came from, what's involved, how to apply, and giving you the link to find out more information on the Office of Research website. So, the University Grants Academy is running for the third year. It's a one-year program, and the fall semester involves a series of informational workshops that are open to the campus community, and the second semester is an intensive experience for a smaller group of faculty. My name is Amy Dendrati. I'm the UGA Director for academic year 17-18, and also here with me is Dr. Gilles Mueller, Associate Dean of Research in the Office of Research for the University. So the funding for the University Grants Academy comes from provost funds that have been set aside for the purpose of supporting research, scholarship, and creative activity of the faculty. The University Grants Academy is an intensive year-long experience for a select group of faculty that is designed to support those faculty through the process of writing a substantial external grant proposal. And we have made some modifications and revisions to the format of the UGA based on the initial Grants Academy that was then run in the College of Applied Sciences and Arts, and also based on the lessons learned in the first two iterations of the Grants Academy in academic years 15-16 and 16-17. Here you can find more detailed information on the University Grants Academy, application materials and instructions on the website of the University Grants Academy, which is, you can find a link to that on the Office of Research website. So the elements of the UGA consist of those things that we considered useful and helpful for those who want to learn how to write an external grant proposal. And that includes 3 weighted teaching minutes or 0.2 release time for one semester, which would be in the spring, to devote to writing an external grant proposal. Also included in the fall semester are workshops by campus experts on the various steps of writing a proposal. And then the spring program, in which technical support, resources, and mentoring are provided from campus experts who are successful grant writers here at San Jose State. An additional element is participants would receive a review of their proposals by an external senior scholar that they identify. That individual is invited to provide a critical review of the proposal draft in return for compensation. Additionally, this year we've added the element of a submission incentive in the form of $500 in research funds if the proposal draft is submitted by the first open submission window after UGA completion. So just to clarify, sometimes submission windows occur not during the spring semester when individuals would be participating in the UGA, but some period after. And so the requirement here to receive the submission incentive is to submit the proposal in the first opportunity after the completion of the UGA. So at the end of, by the end of May. No, the first open window after the end of May. And finally, we've created a program structure designed to support faculty through the completion and submission of the proposal, with the proposal itself broken down into separate pieces, which are then treated as assignments to be submitted throughout the semester, peer check-in process to keep everybody accountable and clear about where their peers are in the process, and also a structure of individualized or small group coaching for faculty as they go through this process. The fall workshops, there's a series of 4 workshops which are essentially progressive. So you take one after the other to build over the semester, hopefully a draft of a proposal. Faculty can attend just one if that's all they need, or all in the series. They're open to the entire campus community, so whether or not a faculty member is interested in or applies to the spring UGA, everyone can attend the fall grant writing workshops. Each workshop includes 1 hour of information with time for questions and answers, as well as a 2nd hour of workshop time, during which we encourage participants to develop the product that's discussed in the 1st hour, so that they can leave the workshop with a concrete product that moves their grant proposal forward. Present at these sessions are mentors from the SJSU faculty and experts from the Office of Research, as well as our university auxiliaries that support grant writing, the Research Foundation and University Advancement and the Tower Foundation. Representatives will be present at each session to provide consultation and guidance to faculty members as they complete that piece of the proposal writing process. In addition, for faculty who request it from the Office of Research, they can receive critical feedback on whatever products have been developed in the workshop by making the request via email to Dr. Gilles Miller, the Associate Dean of Research. That, by the way, would be very useful in improving whatever products developed. Critical feedback is an important part of what makes the quality of the program. So here are the dates and times of the fall workshops. First one is September 13th, and that's on moving from idea to proposal. It's helping faculty develop a proposal summary, which is a very useful product for communicating with potential funders, communicating with program officers at those funders, or potential collaborators for a research project. Second session is in early October, Monday, October 2nd, from 12 to 2, and that's on drafting a budget for a grant proposal. The third session is on drafting the narrative component of your grant proposal, and that's in late October on the 26th. And the final session is on finding external funding for your research and scholarship, and that's in early November, November 8th, also from 12 to 2. All the workshops are in Clark Hall 118. The consulting sessions in the spring, the intensive UGA experience includes consulting sessions. These are just for the Academy participants who are selected. In the last couple of years, we've had between 20 and 25 faculty members in each UGA. The consulting sessions, in the consulting sessions, participants will discuss their progress on their proposal development and receive additional information and support designed to support them in moving forward. We've used Canvas as a communication tool and a place for faculty to submit their proposal components. As I said, we break the proposal project up into assignments, which are submitted throughout the semester. The consulting sessions also provide a forum for discussion and a structure for accountability. And they also provide another arena where campus experts and San Jose State faculty mentors can provide additional support and answer questions. One further element I just want to mention before we go forward is the new component that we've added this year, which is the individual or small group coaching. So as a structure to help support faculty and give them more individualized support and instruction, we're providing coaching so that faculty can be meeting in very small groups or individually with a faculty facilitator who will help them walk through the process and will help them connect with whatever resources or get any questions answered that they have about their proposal development. So we have data from 2 years now of running the UGA. Approximately 80% of participants in both academic years completed a full grant proposal for a specified funder by the end of the UGA, the end of the spring semester. From the first year in 15-16, 3/4 of the participants did formally submit that proposal to the funder through one of our auxiliaries. We've only just ended the summer after the second UGA, and by that time we've had about 1/4 of those participants formally submitting proposals, and I realize there's a typo here. It's probably 13 or so of the remaining do have pending submission windows. So they identified their funder, they've completed their draft proposal, they have a specific submission window that they're awaiting before they submit those proposals through the auxiliary. This is data from the first 15-16 UGA cohort, but the data from the second cohort is very comparable. And what you can see from this data is that when participants rank their capabilities before and after the UGA, they report a distinct increase in their sense of their ability to accomplish the different steps of writing a proposal. So they improved by at least one scales point in a 4-point scale in their understanding of their own abilities to locate a funder, draft the budget, write the narrative, submit the proposal through the auxiliary, and contact the program officer, which is often an important step in ensuring a good fit between funder and proposal idea. In addition, participants report finding the experience of the UGA extremely beneficial. The comments here from both years, the comments in white on the left are from participants in the first year, and comments on the right are from participants in the second year. Just a sampling from the first year, they said they'd recommend it without hesitation. They reported it to be a powerful experience. From the second year, they said it was one of the best things that San Jose State has done for faculty development. They found it extremely helpful. Some of the folks who went into a little bit of depth about the aspects of the UGA that they found particularly useful often describe the accountability structure that we've built in, that it really helps you stick to the timeline. And although having deadlines and assignments can be troublesome or feel troublesome amidst all the other responsibilities of the semester, they can be really helpful in ensuring the proposal actually gets done. So we do ask for some requirements in order to participate in the UGA. Participants have to attend or at least view. We'll have recorded videos of each workshop. So participants will have to attend each of the fall workshops or view them all in order to be eligible for the spring UGA. The application requires them to get permission from their chair or director for the assigned time to be granted during the spring semester. They have to commit to actually completing and submitting an external grant proposal within the timeframes that were previously described. And we also require that participants in the UGA be fully engaged in the process. That is, it's not just to receive release time and then go off and write your grant proposal without fully participating in the program. That's part of what you are requesting when you submit your application to the UGA, that you want to fully participate in all the activities and get the benefits of interaction with the mentors, advisors, and your peers. So applications are due to the Office of Research by November 6th at 5 p.m. Tenure or tenure track faculty who have not yet received major external grants are eligible to apply. So again, this isn't for accomplished grant writers who already have successfully obtained significant external funds, but rather for those who are beginning their grant writing careers and are have not yet received that first major grant. Faculty members who are interested in proposals to fund their RISCA, that is their research, scholarship, or creative activity, have priority for the program. However, if faculty are interested in other types of external grants, like training grants or curriculum development grants, if they're significantly of a significant size, could be considered if space permits. One of the limitations we've set this year is to encourage folks to submit their proposals is that eligibility for further internal RISCA support from the university will be set aside until that proposal is submitted, or for 3 years, whichever comes first. So in order to apply, on the Office of Research website, the materials found there would include an application form. We also request applicants to submit a current CV. People who want to apply for the UGA need to have a clear idea in their mind of what project they want to fund. And in regards to that project, they need to prepare a proposal budget and budget justification, and at least 5 to 6 pages of a draft proposal narrative that outlines the scope and methods, and a brief introduction to the problem or issue being targeted. So that's a fairly significant application process, but if faculty members have gone through the fall workshops, these are exactly what they would have prepared as they went through that process. So there's a fall workshop on developing the budget and the budget justification. There's a fall workshop on drafting the narrative. So these instructions, workshop time, critical feedback for these components are provided in the fall workshops. And again, you can find more details and all materials on the Grants Academy website at the Office of Research site. So in terms of determining who can participate and identifying who are the best candidates, first, we look for completeness of an application. If an application is not complete, it would not be considered. We look for the strength of the elements, the quality of those components that we've requested, and also the likelihood of potential funding. So if it's a well-done application, but the reviewers feel the likelihood of finding potential funding is low, then that application would not be scored as high. We look for evidence, probably in the CV, of the faculty member's ability to complete a proposal within the UGA timeframe, and also the fit of faculty interest and needs within the goals of the UGA. So the UGA is a developmental program. We're looking for faculty who are interested in improving their skills in grant writing. Dr. Mueller, is there anything else you would like to add that I may have left out?
No, at that point, everything is fine, and we can open the time for discussions.
So do you have any questions?
Yeah, just on the last slide, I was wondering if you could go into more detail about how you assess the likelihood of potential funding.
Well, I'll give you an idea, and then Dr. Mueller can respond as well. If we were to see evidence of bringing projects to fruition, completion, and dissemination, like articles, things like that, that show you can take on a project, complete it, and write about it. So first authored articles or other things like that on the CV would show that you have this capacity. Other thoughts?
Yeah, I think one way is to make sure that you demonstrate that you have either some expertise in the area that you want to work, but also the preliminary work or data that you can use. Because often when you submit a grant proposal, if you can support your ideas with a preliminary work, it helps. So having all of those information will help. The second point is also to make sure that what you propose to do is a good fit for the targeted funder that you are thinking of. Because if you are doing whatever your work is, and you said, I want to submit to this funder, but there is no overlap on what they are willing to fund, so that's not a good match neither. So it's more at that point, we just want to make sure that there is a good match between what you propose to do, that you show that you have the expertise to complete everything, and then that it's something that the funding agency would be willing to consider.
So it helps if you have like an extensive publication record already when you're applying for grants.
I wouldn't say extensive.
No.
We understand that many of the faculty who apply are new faculty. They're not going to have extensive publication records, but they should have some way to show on their CV, or they could also, attempt to describe this in the application. Some evidence of their ability.
Yeah.
It gives us a sense that they'll be able to do this and follow through and complete it.
Because usually, I don't think that someone would start from scratch the idea. Either they came from a postdoc position, they have done something in the same area, and they decided to continue in one direction, so they can show that they have already done some work that could show that they can be successful. So that's, but yeah, it's not, we are not looking at having extensive record of publications, but because otherwise that wouldn't be the purpose of a UGA. But having some documentation to demonstrate the ability of doing the project would be helpful.
Any other questions?
You could also describe the last point where you said the fit of faculty interests and the goals of the UGA. Can you just explain a bit more about how you assess that? So the goals of the UGA are to get grants, right? Or to help faculty get grants?
That's right. In particular, the UGA's goal is to introduce faculty to the supports available on campus and the processes by which they can write a significant grant proposal to an external funder. So somebody that's already